I have a hypothetical question.
Mm-hmm.
What if Mike McDaniel were the 49ers head coach? I saw a lot of tweets yesterday being like, man, if Andy Reid were the Niners coach, the Niners would be putting up 50 consistently. Maybe, but that's never going to happen. Andy Reid with the the Chiefs. Mike McDaniel, though, was in this building for 5 years. The Niners, Jed York, could have went to his office, could have talked to him, could have found out a little bit about him. But now he's gone. And he's in Miami, and that offense is freaking good. They put up 39 points yesterday. They have 7 wins. So they're a very good team. They're not playing down to their opponents. They're blowing teams out. They're way over 500 with Tua.
Mm-hmm.
And, a couple cast-offs in the backfield that Kyle Shanahan, that were beneath this 49ers team. If Mike, in a bizarro world where Kyle Shanahan got fired for losing the NFC Championship game last year, and the Niners had the foresight to promote Mike McDaniel to head coach, how many wins would this team have? I mean, how many points per game would this offense be scoring? I need exact figures.
Okay, I'll give you the exact figures. Right now the Miami Dolphins have 30 touchdowns offensively, right? And we have 21?
Okay.
So it's I actually posted it this morning. So good question to ask me. So the Dolphins average 2.9 touchdowns per game. 49ers average 2.3. So, I mean, here's the thing, though. McDaniels is smart enough to go in and get speed. The only speed that Kyle Shanahan brought in was Danny Gray, who doesn't see the field.
And now McCaffrey, who can't get to the edge because of McGlinchey.
Yeah. So, I mean, McDaniels, to me, he was the creativity behind this offense. I really, really believe that. I mean, even Collinsworth last night, he said, you don't see any more emotions on the pre-snap by any team in the NFL except for Miami.
The jet motion. You see it in Miami a lot.
Yeah,
with the Niners, you see Deebo Samuel running in circles.
Yeah.
He's running. He's going to run a swing pattern like – what about all the quick jet motion stuff that they used to do? I guess that was Mike McDaniel's thing. They do it in Miami.
And we're picking on Debo a lot this year, and some of it's probably justified. But I can't help but imagine how Debo would look if he was on Miami or McDaniels was the coach of the 49ers. I think he would find a way to make Debo shine, play to his strengths more than Kyle Shanahan has been able to this year. I mean, last year was his best year, and who was in charge of the run game last year? It was McDaniels.
I think one of the things that stands out about the Dolphins this year and the Niners in the past when McDaniel was here was the attention to detail on offense. Just all the little things that they would do to set up blocking angles that maybe other teams don't do. I mean, McDaniel has a way of making the rest of the league look pretty vanilla. And he's doing it to the Niners. Like, he leaves and all of a sudden the Niners look vanilla on offense. And I think that attention to detail is what is missing. And so I think when you really think through this hypothetical, what if they just ditched Kyle last year and promoted his subordinate? They'd be better off most likely. And I think that kind of illustrates how Kyle is the problem. If there's a problem, this team might win the Super Bowl. I don't know. But if they don't, it's because of Kyle, straight up. And Jed at some point needs to realize that this team is underperforming and it's Kyle's fault. And unless he can fix that, you're letting really good head coaches leave. Like 2 years ago with Saleh, I think he'd have a winning record with this team right now. This year it's McDaniel. Next year it could be D'Amico, who looks like he's going to be a successful head coach too. Mm-hmm. So at a certain point, Jed, we're talking to you, bud. It must be demoralizing to see Miami put up 30 plus points pretty much weekly, while the Niners, you're paying all this money for weapons on offense, and the Niners are like eking out 22 points. I don't know.
There's a couple things I'm seeing here with what's going on, what could be possibly going on. One, Kyle's been here. This is his 6th year. Eventually, your voice starts getting old to players, right? Especially the guys who've been here. Like you start tuning it out, right? That's one thing. And some new life would maybe spark things up here a little bit. The other thing, which I think is the big problem here with Kyle Shanahan, is he doesn't trust his players, whereas McDaniel trusts his players. Not only does he trust them, he tells them he trusts them, tells them they're better than they are. He tells them he believes in them before they believe in themselves, whereas Kyle Shanahan is, to me, the reason why we're not scoring points, The reason why Jimmy's interceptions are down, which is a good thing, he's trending the same touchdown passes, but fewer interceptions. He's trending 8 versus 12 and 22 touchdowns versus 22 last year. But the reason why I believe that we're not able to score is because Kyle Shanahan doesn't believe it and trust Jimmy. So he's calling these short outside things for Jimmy. Yes, we're a few targets downfield more than normal. I get that. But those are actually low interception type passes. If you're throwing deep and outside, that's more safe than you are throwing these inside. And that's part of why I think Debo is struggling, because Debo was really good at these slants. Take it and go. They're not really calling those as much this year as they are these outside line of scrimmage screens. And I think this all, same reason he doesn't play as rookies. Kyle Shanahan does not trust anyone but himself when calling these games.
Well, and that's an interesting point to bring up, trust. If the leader and head coach of the team can't trust his players, how can they trust him? I feel like to be an effective head coach, your players have to trust you. And that's what Jeff Saturday had yesterday. Like, Jeff Saturday's team scored more points than Kyle's team. You can't say that Jeff Saturday went against the worst defense, the Chargers and the Raiders. Jeff Saturday's team, with old-ass Matt Ryan coming off the bench and Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor, scored 25. While Kyle, in his 6th year, with the most dangerous team in the league and all the greatest weapons, 22. That's not great. And this team is looking like, I don't know what we want to do. I don't know what we're trying to accomplish. I mean, at least on offense. Everyone has great things to say about D'Amico.